yeah, Cashapp. Oh yeah, Cashapp.
Good morning. A couple things, people. I can feel the tension and the unnecessary worry and concern. A couple things. It's been a while since I've been on stream. Shout out to the loyal subscribers who hit me up yesterday asking where I was and why I had not been streaming. Many reasons and many excuses one could present. But we're not going to do that today. Elephant in the room. Let's get out the way. Elephant in the room. Will vaccines become mandatory for military personnel? I'm not going to stay on this long. I want to talk about something else. I don't want to talk about current events and things that people are just going to worry about in general. So Secretary of Defense submitted a waiver request to the President of the United States to approve mandatory vaccines for all military personnel by September 15th, or up to the point where the FDA approves the Pfizer vaccine. So it's not mandatory today. It's not mandatory today. It's not mandatory right now. It's not mandatory for everyone to be vaccinated before September 15th. It's a waiver request. So the question remains, should I join the military if they're making these things mandatory? You can see how President Biden has already, I believe he made vaccines mandatory for all federal workers. It's interesting. It's interesting. I'm personally vaccinated already, for those of you who are wondering. I got the Johnson & Johnson when I was in Alaska. Those things being what they are, I want to talk about something real quick as it relates to leverage, because that's what it really comes down to. We could speculate. We could talk in circles. We can muse and wonder and worry and discuss whether or not this is a good idea, whether or not it should be a thing, whether or not you want to participate. All that's well and good. The issue comes down to leverage. And that's really what a lot of people they take issue with, is the fact that they don't have leverage. They don't have an option. It's kind of like if your employer says, you're going to wear this uniform, and you say, well, I don't want to wear that uniform. They say, well, if you want to work here, you got to wear the uniform, right? You go to prison, there's no discussion of the attire and dress code. No, they tell you what you're going to wear. You come to the military, they say, I know you like the last uniform, but we got this for you now. That's leverage. There's positional power, and then there's leverage. Most often, and especially in the case where you join the military, you don't have leverage, especially when you're coming in as an enlisted personnel. Officers come in with positional power, meaning they come with rank. So an officer on their first day, active duty or otherwise, the first day they step into a position of an officer, commissioned officer, they outrank all enlisted, all of them, including the 30-year, 40-year chief. They outrank them. So now positions are different, obviously, but you get the point. The lowest enlisted or the lowest commissioned officer outranks the highest ranking enlisted by virtue purely of they're commissioned, they're an officer. So that being said, I'm not telling you to join the military. I'm not telling you that the vaccines, it's not going to bother you. You'll be fine. It'll feel good. You'll enjoy it. It comes with some perks. I'm not here to preach any of that. I'm not here to speak on behalf of the government, the military, the Air Force, any of that. I'm here we're talking about reality. Reality, meaning if you want to do something, you have to acknowledge the rules surrounding it. Let's say that tomorrow it's signed, the waiver approved, vaccines are mandatory ASAP. What do? Make a decision. How do you make that decision? With wisdom. With wisdom. If what you want is on the other side of this obstacle, you have a couple options. If you don't like the options available to you, flip the table. Kevin Spacey. If you don't like the options in front of you, I think that was Raymond Reddington, actually. You get the point. You can go over it, around it, through it, accept it. But those are your options. There's only one way into the military. There's one way into the military, and that's through their rules. So I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. I'm not here to advise medically or otherwise. I definitely understand the controversy surrounding it, because I had the same feelings associated with, do I want to get it? Why I waited so long, and then choosing between, all right, I just want the one shot, whatever comes with it, whatever, cool, I'll deal with it. But yeah, that's life. You're gonna experience often moments where you don't have the ability to choose the way you want to. Most often we're upset by not having options, but having these options. I want different options. I don't want to do this. I want to pick something else. And in certain environments, you only have certain options. I always talk about how I don't believe, and this is my personal philosophy, I don't believe that freedom exists. I believe we have liberty. There's certain set rules and certain environments with certain authorities in place, and that if we want to dwell in that environment, there's rules. And what are you gonna do? What you go to the airport and you say, you know what, I don't really want to, check in this bag that weighs 300 pounds. I'll just carry it on. I don't really want to go through your lines and take off my shoes and thank God for TSA pre-check, but I really don't want to do all this. And they say, listen, if you want to get on our plane, Brad, you're going to do the following. Even the people that own the planes, Boeing, Airbus, Spirit, all these, well, those are, you get the point. There's leverage. And if somebody has what you want, you have to comply. Compliance has nothing to do with your feelings or whether or not you like it. And that's the unfortunate reality that a lot of us are facing right now, especially those who are, attempting or thinking about contemplating joining the military, is that now you're seeing these new changes. And trust me, it affects those who are currently in the military, because there are a lot of people who are currently in who don't have the vaccine and don't want it. And don't want it for great reason. I'm not here to argue for either side. I just want you to make sure that you're acknowledging the fact that, first of all, there's other vaccines that you have to take anyway, regardless of your vaccination status on COVID. If you join the military, there's going to be other vaccines you got to take anyway. Now, that's no argument for it. I'm just saying, make sure you remain consistent. Intellectually consistent. Who's in the chat? I just want to address that real quick. But yeah, it's unfortunate, the time we're in. A lot of us wish, if I was just born 5 years earlier, I wouldn't be dealing with this. If I was born in the 1980s, I wouldn't be dealing with this. And you might be right, but you might have different issues, worse issues, better issues. Who knows? Kind of like the argument that, if I was rich, I wouldn't be dealing with half the issues I deal with today. I'm like, you'd be dealing with different issues. If you hit the lottery today, people will be at your door with lawyers. People will be slipping and falling all over your property. You're like, no, bro, you can't sit on that bread, and not share the wealth. I gotta spill this water, bro. I gotta spill this water to make sure that everybody eats properly. If you were in the 1% tax bracket, you will be arguing and complaining about why are we paying so much taxes, bruh? Why? Like, my boy lives in Florida. He told me he paid $84,000 in taxes this year alone. That's almost twice what I make. That he's paid in taxes. It's crazy. But again, there's different issues, and civilians complain about, no, I don't want to join the military. I have to follow all these rules, and I don't want to be yelled at, and then military people, I wish I had my freedom back and my time back, and I wish I didn't have to wear a uniform and deploy in TDY and move around the country all this time. No matter what you choose, there's going to be a set of issues that you don't like. What do? Acceptance is probably the best route. That's something I'm dealing with currently in my current life, is acceptance. If you can't change it, you accept it. Accept it. Who's in this chat, bruh? Yeah, I kind of miss being on stream. It's been a minute. So much to talk about that. I don't want to try to cram it all into this one video, but let's address the most winning and successful NBA franchise ever to grace the basketball court, my Lakers. I know a lot of you don't like sports, but it's cool. It's cool. Lakers made a lot of moves this offseason. Or free agent season. Shout out to Russ Westbrook, arguably the best point guard in NBA history. I can hear the arguments now, and I mean, they're not valid. So don't do it. I constantly complain about how Chris Paul gets so much love, and his resume doesn't even compare to Westbrook's. How many MVPs does he have? How many trips has he made it to the NBA Finals? How many times has he averaged a triple-double? So Westbrook, I'm happy to bring him into the fold. You know, see him turning up in the yellow and purple, gold and purple. Him and LeBron, destined to. So first of all, LeBron finally gets a little bit of love from me because they brought in my kryptonite. They brought in one of my favorite players. So I got to root for Lakers this year. Brought in Carmelo. Got to get him a little W real quick. Trevor Ariza, one of the vets, the OGs. The youngins coming in, Malik Monk and Nunn and all them boys. I'm excited for this upcoming season. They had much more rest. They got kicked in the first round. Much more rest this offseason. Hopefully Anthony Davis gets his life together. Bro, get your behind in the gym, bro. I don't know what you've been doing. You skipping leg days, something. Get your life together, bro. We can't have this. But yeah, I'm excited for this offseason. Lakers gonna make some noise. Yes, they're old, cool. I heard somebody use the phrase the NBA's antique store, which is so disrespectful on so many levels. If anything, that applies to LeBron. No one else. But yeah, I'm excited about the NBA season. I'm excited about the Bucks getting theirs. Giannis was well deserving. He had the mama mentality. I mentioned that in earlier videos that you guys were disrespectful about. Russ also has it as well. So we're in good hands there. The Bulls made some moves. They may be a squad to be looking out for. Shout out to the youngins that got drafted. The Houston Rockets, bro, got Jalen Green and Josh Christopher. That's gonna be a bucket town. You hear me? That's gonna be some buckets down there. Them youngins is different. I watched them play against each other, and it's lightning in a bottle. You don't see energy like that. I mean, these youngins are different. And then of course, Sharif Cooper getting drafted. I was happy for him. Shout out Jersey. Shout out New Jersey Hoop Recruits. There's something about Jersey that has my heart. The whole northeastern part of the country, New York, Philly, Baltimore, DC, Virginia. I miss it. You live on the West Coast long enough and you just start missing culture. You start missing your people. I'm like, I miss the foolishness just a little bit. It's a little too peaceful out here. People are not arguing as much in the gym. Why are we hooping if nobody's mad? For what? I have one barbershop to choose from. That's unacceptable. So, yeah, a lot going on in the NBA. I'm excited to see basketball taking place. More basketball, less foolishness, more basketball. Shout out to the NBA, Kevin Durant getting the gold. Shout out to the boys taking our business out there. I don't know why people thought Luka then was going to whoop up on the NBA. Like, no. Luka had the Mavericks behind him. He couldn't beat us. So why would he bring a lesser team to a better NBA team and try to make noise? That's not how that works. You don't get to do that. That's not a privilege you're afforded. So we're grateful to the U.S. making some noise. Shout out to the women's NBA team as well, or WNBA rather. Also winning the gold. I believe it's their 7th straight gold medal. That's quality. Good morning, everyone in the chat. Mark Littles, Ashton, I see you. Logan, Ashton, do what your stripes can handle. Facts. Facts. Wadner says, I know Wadner was on 10 with this. I'm so mad that it will be required. I really want to join the Air Force, but I refuse to take it. Do you know if religious exemption will work? Not sure. That's a good question, though. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's a great question. I would keep researching that. I'm sure when they if it gets approved or when it gets approved, they'll have some doctrine out there or like some exceptions for waivers and how to go about, what consequences there will be if you don't get it or what have you. I'm sure that'll come out at some point. That just says ain't no way a chief will actually listen to Butterballs. Hey, you might be right. I'm just saying one person has to salute the other person. Like it's a matter of position. It has nothing to do with leverage because the chief has leverage. He has experience. He has the time. All that. Yo, everybody do me a favor and spam the chat where you are from. I am just curious to know where is everybody hailing from. It's something you always want to be cognizant of like, am I really reaching the masses? Am I really having an impact? Are people's lives being changed based off my rhetoric and my my musings and what have you? Shout out Laker Nation in the chat. See you. On God, man. Hey, who said that? Damn John says, don't disrespect Curry fan. Everybody talking Curry. Hey, listen, bro. Let me talk about Curry real quick. Curry can't guard Russ. That's a fact. That's not from me. Curry cannot guard Russell Westbrook. With that being said, Curry is top 5 point guard. Easy. Him, John Stockton probably up there. Oscar Robinson probably be up there. Magic Johnson obviously has to be probably number 1 on the list. Yeah, but yeah, Curry, he dope. He a bucket. It's arguable. It's arguable. Curry, Westbrook. That's a better argument than saying Chris Paul. Because I'm like, what are you the floor general of when you led the NBA Finals with turnovers? What were you floor generaling? I'm curious. Somebody tell me. So, interesting. What else we got? We got somebody from Twitch. I see you, Ray. Appreciate you. North Carolina in the house. Alicio Way, Orlando, Florida. Hey, this is my guy right here. I found it so interesting. I ran into him. I was selling my cameras when I mentioned I'm selling all my extra stuff. If you guys notice, everything in the set is kind of different. I'm selling everything. I'm going pure minimalist, which actually I need to address that actually. So we'll come back to that in a second. Real quick. How much time I got? All right, I got about 15 minutes. So yeah, I ran into Alicio Way. By the way, go subscribe to his channel. Great content on gear and up and coming YouTubers, and like he has a whole series that he does. Love his quality of content, the depth of field, the bokeh, quality audio, everything. But also his content is quality as well. Just the stories that people tell and what have you. But yeah, ran to him selling my cameras in Florida, and obviously he lives in Orlando, and I was in Fort Pierce, and I was so surprised, Alicio. If you don't know, I was so surprised you trusted me to ship the cameras to you, because I'm like, this is 2021. Obviously, there's methods in place to refund people, especially on PayPal, Facebook, eBay, all these various mediums. But yeah, I was like, this guy trusts me, and but we instantly connected. Like the fact that we're both YouTubers, and we kind of, it's hard to hide on the internet. Like when you're this far out there, you got so much content out there, you got most of your life documented, everywhere. It's kind of hard to hide from people if you're gonna do them wrong. So anyway, I was grateful for the transaction, and grateful to meet him. Hopefully we can get a collab one of these days. Definitely want to pick his mind and his brain and hear his origin story and things like that. But shout out to Alicio Way. Yeah, y'all go subscribe to my boy. Who else we got in here? Little Rock, Arkansas. Born and raised in Abilene, Texas. Okay. Little West Texas. We got Dallas in the house. Poland. Okay, Poland. I don't know what we doing out there. Who else we got? I'm from New Jersey, same city as the greatest singer in the history. Who's the greatest singer in history? Would you be referring to? I don't know who you could be referring to from Jersey. I don't know who that is. Tell me in the chat who that is. Hey, what? Damn, John been talking crazy. Curry's a winner, Russ not fan. Hey, listen, man. I can't. He might be. He might be. Anyway, I was supposed to talk about the minimalism. All right, so I claim to be essentialist. I prefer that terminology as it relates to I only pursue things that are essential. Now, there are plenty of exceptions in my life, but the rule is that in most cases, I will only buy things, only do things, only spend time with people that I deem essential. And it simplifies your life very quickly. Almost everything you see in this shot is sold already. The TV behind me, I'm just waiting for somebody to pick it up. I'm keeping the lamp. The lamp is one of my favorite pickups ever from Amazon. The clock, sorry, it's on Facebook Market. The picture behind me is on Facebook Market. There's pretty much nothing else in the house. I've sold every other picture in the house, all the furniture. I don't really own much. This place comes fully furnished. So the point being is that I feel at peace that I don't have a lot of stuff, especially when you're in transition. I mentioned how I'm making plans to move to the Guard and things like that. You will notice how much order your life is in when you enter transition. And it's not that you should have nothing or you should have the bare minimum. It's the fact that I enjoy not having clutter. Like you walk into some people's house or some people's cars and it's just stuff. Why do you have a storage unit? For what? If you open a closet and you haven't used anything in there for the last 6 months, 3 months, 2 months, last week, why do you really have it? I have 2 wet vacs in my trunk. 2 wet vacs. I don't need any of them. I had 4 cameras. I used 1. And then 1 for vlogging. I got the RX 100 Mark V here. This is my vlog camera. And then I got the Sony A6400. And I use that for live streaming. I don't need any other cameras. I don't do photography that much anymore. And if I do, I use it on my phone. It's just, you start realizing that you have too much stuff. And it's just, it's clouding your judgment. It's too much. I have too many candles. I left every candle in this house burning. I'm like, get rid of it. Get rid of it. I burn incense most of the time anyway. I'm burning it now. Get rid of the candles. Why do I have 10 candles? I need 1 of it. I have 2 laptops. I'm selling the iPad Pro. Like, I don't use the iPad Pro. Why? I have 10 lenses. I don't use it. You start realizing I just got too much stuff. I've made so much money. It's ridiculous. Just selling stuff. You'd be surprised if you go through your house how many $200 items you have. You sell each one for $150. That's ridiculous. So, yeah, that's kind of like I don't want to call it a phase because it's not a phase. It's a decision. I apply the same thing to eating. I apply the same thing to people. I don't believe in having excess. And so the minimalist thing, obviously, it's kind of trendy, and a lot of people can get behind something that's just, the hippies are pursuing the following decision-making process. No, it's not that deep. It's just, yeah, you get to a point where you realize, I don't want to travel around with 5,000 pounds of stuff. You realize I got to buy a U-Haul every time I move. And the realization came from this. I realized every time I go on vacation, I take a suitcase. A carry-on suitcase and a carry-on, which is just my live streaming gear. And I realized the last time I took leave was 12 days. The time before that was 25 days. Both times, I did not think about what pictures I had or owned. I didn't even stop to think, how's my wine rack doing? The only thing I had to address when I was on leave that was kind of inconvenient was where my caffeine was coming from. That was it. I sold my Keurig, I believe it was yesterday or the day before. Don't need it. I don't drink coffee that often. I drink more so the sugar-free packets and electrolytes. You just start realizing you have a lot of stuff just because your counter space is empty. I got too much stuff. We're just buying stuff to fill in space. These walls are so empty. I got to buy more stuff to fill in the space and then fill in more. And then, of course, I already ended this lease. This apartment, I'll be out this apartment by the end of the month. I don't need it. I spend almost no time here. Almost no time here to be paying this much in rent. And I realized, I'm like, on vacation, we don't ever think about this stuff. We take one carry-on and we just function somehow. We find a way to function. Obviously, we could use a kitchen. We could be making more meals than we're buying, eating out, all that. We're wasting money. But the fact remains that you don't need half the things that you currently own. If you open your closets and there's clothes in there that you've never worn, I have like 3 or 4 pairs of boots that I've never worn. I'm just waiting to find somebody around me that wears size 14 shoe. Good luck. Good luck finding that. That's the reality of what a lot of Americans, a lot of people that honestly, if you're watching this, you're rich. If you're watching this stream right now, you're rich. A lot of people don't realize that. You have internet, you have a computer in your pocket. You have the option to probably watch it on TV or a tablet. You probably got 2 phones. One is probably the one you just upgraded from. We don't realize how quickly we just kind of accumulate stuff. I'm like, anytime I buy something new, I'm going to get rid of the last thing that was sitting in this place. Anyway, that's my little spill on my current life processes and what I'm kind of going through. It kind of clears your head. It feels good. Sometimes solving your problems with less is the solution. I noticed when I first got to Alaska, when I first got here, I was just shopping on Amazon. I was just buying something new just because I enjoyed seeing Amazon boxes. I'm like, why do I have a tool set when I bought it 2 years ago to fix a bed problem? Why do I still have this tool set? I buy things brand new for the most case. Like, why do I have this new? You start noticing I have too much stuff. It's not serving me right now. Sell it. Get rid of it. I'm not saying give things away. I'm not the one pulling the trigger on just giving stuff away. I'll sell things and make sure I get a return on investment at least. But you start realizing, yeah, too much stuff. Who else we got in this chat, man? South Carolina in the house. Alicia Way showing love. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. We got Detroit in the house. See you. Young Link. Love your videos, man. Really helped me get in the Air Force as an older recruit. Hey, I appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. Y'all hit me up at Global. I got like 3 emails from subscribers I'm supposed to be responding to. I just get caught up at work. And like by the time I go to check them, they've been sitting there for 2 weeks. I'm like, damn it. I appreciate y'all for real. What else we got in here? Yeah. T ask, why did you choose guard and not reserve? Mission-based preference. I like pursuing the most options. Reserve tends to be, in my opinion, not as active as the guard. More to come on that. More to come on that later. Little dog in the chat. Been a minute since we spoke. Hope you're doing well. Anything else I want to talk about? Let me wrap it up. I didn't want to be on too long, but yeah, I did want to show love. I haven't been on here in a minute. Life happens. You understand? Life happens, and you get tired, and you realize, why am I doing any of it? Any of it? Anything at all? Why do I wake up and go do stuff? One more thing on minimalism. Real quick. I've noticed in my own life, so when you talk about anxiety, you realize, all right, there could be several factors that go into anxiety, or there could be no factors. Anxiety is a weird case. It's a weird diagnosis of where does it come from, what triggers it, why do I have it at all, etc. Well, one thing that occurred to me is that, all right, the reason why I work a job, period, is to maintain a certain lifestyle that I've grown into. When I compare my daily life to what I do on vacation, I typically do 2 things. I go to the ocean or to a major city, and I walk. I walk, and I eat, and I sleep, watch TV, walk the beach, walk the city, eat food, different kinds of food, junk food, go to the gym, watch TV. Almost no variation from that. It's almost exactly that, what I do on vacation. I'm like, if that's my vacation, how much does that cost to do on a daily basis? Like, you start realizing that this lifestyle I have, this apartment, the Wi-Fi, the bills I create, the cell phone, this $150 a month for a cell phone bill. And you start asking yourself, I have all this stuff, but I also have to maintain all this stuff. I have to maintain appearances. I got a car note. I got car insurance. But I start realizing when I start selling stuff, and I got cancel Netflix, cancel Hulu, cancel Amazon Prime. I'm keeping the YouTube Red because I use that all day long. But you start realizing I have to make a certain amount of money to maintain this lifestyle. The question is why? Because when I go on vacation, when I go to pursue peace and enjoyment and pleasure, I don't use none of this stuff. I take a carry-on and a personal item, which is my streaming bag, and that's it. So why is it that on vacation I take less, but my day-to-day life I have to have more, and I have to work 7:30 to 4:30 Monday through Friday to pursue this 20-year retirement, when that's not even what I pursue when I'm on vacation? You start realizing I don't need all the stuff. I don't need to have this huge, 20-year long career doing something I hate when I could just lower my expenses and do something I enjoy. What if I could get a job that I actually enjoy, that pays a lot less, but my expenses are very small, which means I could wake up happy every day. I love doing YouTube. It does pay me. And then pair that with a job that I actually enjoy. I could make a usable income and live like I'm on vacation. Think about that. It kind of ties into, correlates to, minimalism, essentialism, but also includes the variable of happiness, fulfillment. How many of you wake up every day and you're happy? Monday morning was yesterday. How many of you woke up and you're happy to do whatever you have to do on Monday morning? I get the difference between responsibility and pleasure, vacation, and doing things you enjoy. There's some things you have to do. I have to go to the gym. But what if I can go to a nice gym? I have to eat food, but what if I can eat a nice steak? What if I can drink top of the line? I enjoy quality. So that came to me as essentialism, as I want to choose what's essential to me, but the highest quality of that essential item or essential person. I want the highest quality people around me. I don't want to just pick anything off the floor and say, I need this, so therefore I'm just going to pick the cheapest one. You start realizing I don't need a career that pays $100,000 a month if I have $100 in bills. So that whole story, that whole thought process is progressing as we speak, because this lease is ending this month. I'm still in the process of selling things. I have so many things posted on Facebook Market. I'm selling things every single day. And you start realizing I have way more money now, because I'm paying way less money in expenses. I posted on Twitter a while back, what if you didn't need to make a certain amount of money to live a certain way? You just needed lower overhead, lower expenses. Maybe you don't need the $300,000 car. You just need a car. And that car allows you to go to the beach every single day. But if you have a $300,000 car, you got to go to work every day. That's what seems to be kind of clicking in my head, is that, all right, we let social media run our lives so much, and then we pursue these lives that people are living on social media and say, if I can go get those things and consume and consume and consume and consume and consume and making someone else rich, and they have the option to go to the beach, even though they may love what they do, they have the option to go on vacation. Tesla, all these companies, the CEOs, they have their time is full to make how much money they make. God forbid their expenses match how much they make. We look at some people and say, oh, they're making 6 figures a month, 6 figures a year. But how much are they working to make that money? You have all these people that go into student loan debt to make a certain amount of money that they perceive to be there at the end of their academic career. And then they get out of there and go work to pay off the debt before they make the income. And then they have to keep working to maintain that income, which means most of their life consists of working. You can't plug family in there. You can't plug vacation in there. You can't plug in even shopping for the money that you got to go on Amazon. You got to shop while you on the toilet. That's how crazy our society has grown, where we look at social media and I have to live a certain way, which means I have to work overtime to just look like I make a certain amount of money. I've killed all that in my life right now. I'm in the phase of realizing I don't have children, which means I don't have child support. I don't have college funds to prepare for. I don't got to pay for daycare. I don't got extra mouths to feed. My electricity bill is included with my rent, which therefore means it's lower. I don't have a wife, a girlfriend. My life is, I control how much bills I have. I control my overhead. And so that means I can increase it or lower it. I watch maybe one show on Hulu, about 3 shows. It's Always Sunny, 30 Rock. What's the other one? You get the point. I don't need to pay $10 a month. I just buy the series, buy the whole thing in the subscription. I bought The Office on YouTube. I'm not paying another monthly subscription to watch just The Office. Just The Office. I buy the whole series, leave it at that. So that's just my little rant on realizing you don't maybe need to make as much money as you think you do. Maybe you just need to lower your expenses. Maybe your expenses are too high. Maybe you're just paying too much money out. Maybe you're spending more than you make. We put so much effort into, I got to get the 6-figure partner in life. I got to marry somebody that makes 6 figures. I'm like, how much money does it take to keep you alive? Add $1,000 to that. You're good. You're good. And most likely, you'll probably be happier with that. Lesser amount, lesser expenses. Subtraction is probably the answer for most people. Now, I will say this. Don't confuse my expenses with quality, because my expenses can be highest quality. Like, I'm not streaming off of a Dell. I'm not streaming off of a dusty camera. This is not an iPhone. This autofocus does not move for a reason. I pay for quality. The light that's hitting me is soft intentionally. This is a S20 Android. Like, I don't buy Motorola's and LGs. I buy quality. Quality only. I sleep on silk. My pillowcases are silk. My pillows are down. Like, I don't buy cheap things. So you realize essentialism is buying quality of things that you need, not cheap of the things you need. Or minimalist buying just, I don't need a microphone. I just need to be close to the laptop and just kind of talk right into the map. No, I buy quality. This is not a cheap mic. You get quality from it, and it lasts you longer. And you don't have to replace it as often. So that's kind of the point, is you can still enjoy high quality things, high quality views, high quality cars, if you realize, if I keep my expenses below a certain threshold and I don't get into drugs and alcohol and gambling and all these foolishness that just eats up money, you realize I don't need to work as hard. Therefore, I can be happier. I have more time to myself, more time to spend with family, more time to explore. And that's kind of the phase I'm in. So just want to share that thought process with you. Something to kind of munch on for a while. I'm not saying everybody just go sell everything you own and cancel all your subscriptions. I'm just saying, do you watch that subscription as much as you think you do? How many shows are you really watching? Is it just that one, and then you finish the series and now you're just paying $1,200 a month, or a year rather? That's my little rant. I gotta get in the shower, head to work. But I miss live streaming. You understand? I kind of miss this. We'll see. But yeah, I'll see y'all next stream. Appreciate everybody joining in. Appreciate all the super chats. I will say what's good to y'all.